And then I want to end this with a few things that are just important to me and my values. And then I'll take any questions. First and foremost, when I came into this agency, and particularly when I was on the director job, I want to maintain focus on the reason that I have a job, the reason that David has a job, the reason that his staff has a job, the reason that all these providers have a job, and that is we are the agency for persons with disabilities. Okay? We are for the people with disabilities, and without you, we have no reason to exist. We can't exist for ourselves. Thank you. It's a waste of resource for us just to exist to feed a bureaucracy. We want to make sure that we are responsive to the needs of the people that we serve to the extent that we can. And in furtherance of that, two things that my staff have heard me just harp on over and over and over again, and I'm not the most sophisticated person in the world, but one thing I can do is I can say the same thing over and over again until people start to listen. And the two things that I think are critical, and this was just my observations when I came into the agency, is that there was a real need to improve the level of communication, both within the organization and also our communication outside of the organization. And a lot of that I've touched upon already. Let's communicate to people that we are your ally, not your enemy. Okay? Sometimes we have constraints and we have to follow the rules, and we can't unilaterally change the law, but we, at the end of the day, nobody that is in this business is doing it just for their jollies or because they're getting rich. I mean, at the end of the day, everybody that's doing this is committed to what they're doing. And we are allies, and we need to take advantage of that. The second thing is I want to strengthen accountability at all levels within the agency. I want people to take ownership. I'm not a person that's real big on excuses. If something doesn't go right, if somebody comes and said, well, boy, that ACA, they just didn't do their job, that's not a good answer to me. And I want every person that works in our agency, I want all of the business partners, I want you all to, I want everybody to accept a sense of ownership and to find solutions and to be accountable regardless of where you are in this organization. And don't ever say it's somebody else's job, because quite frankly, that excuse rings very hollow with the person that needs something that day. It doesn't help them at all to just make excuses and try to shift blame. And I don't want to do that, because that further, in turn, that hurts our ability to effectively and positively communicate with one another whenever we point fingers. I want to, and you've heard me allude to this, I want to give the people we serve and the taxpayers that make it possible, I want to give you all a professionally run organization, and I'll say it again, that does the right thing the right way every day. That's what I want. I want to dot the I's, cross the T's. I want to dot the I's, cross the T's, because that's what professionals do, and we're professionals. We're not amateurs. And if we're amateurs, then I want you to go get training and then come back when you're a professional. That's what I want. In a little, my wife, I just think this is kind of a cool thing I ran into the other day. My wife is from Palatka, Florida, which is not too far down the road from here. And there's a place, and I had occasion to address a similar group in Gainesville, and she wanted to come along on that trip just because it had been 10 years since she had ever had Jerry's Fried Chicken in Palatka. And Palatka was close enough to Gainesville that we made a special trip over to Palatka to eat some Jerry's Fried Chicken. And if any of you are ever in Palatka, I'll recommend it. Go get you some fried chicken at Jerry's. And they have a sign at their waitress station that I really thought was pretty cool. I want to pass that along to you. It was the 3 rules of business success. Rule number 1, take good care of the customer. Rule number 2, take good care of the customer. Rule number 3, take good care of the customer. And I believe that applies to us. I believe it applies to ABD. I believe it applies to all the business partners we work with. I believe it applies to us as well. We want to take care of the customer because you're the reason that we exist. And that, of course, it always starts with showing proper courtesy and respect from our staff to you. And that's something else I think that David can verify, that I have preached everywhere I go. I say we're going to treat people right. We're going to treat people like we want to be treated. And we're also going to be professional. And we're going to understand that we're paid to keep our cool even when others around us are not. And that's something that I want our staff to embrace it. We get paid for what we do. We get paid sometimes to swallow our ego and maybe listen to someone that's in a frustrating kind of situation. You know, the governor, in a speech he gave, he really was talking about Coach Tony Dungy. I'm not sure how many of you follow NFL football, but Coach Dungy, who recently retired from the NFL, he almost won a Super Bowl at Tampa Bay, put together the nucleus of players that did, and then he won a Super Bowl in Indianapolis, and they asked him what he was most proud of about his career. You know, it wasn't that he came up with the wing T offense or anything else. What X's and O's related. He said the thing that he was most proud of is that he had run his operation, his organization, his football operation. He said we wanted to go show people that we could treat people with respect, that we could treat people right and we could still win. Now on the football field, if any of you have ever participated in organized football, you'll know that's the last thing in the world on most coaches' minds. But Coach Dungy, that was what he said he was most, that he was most proud of in a career. And that, of course, in what we do is something that we need to take to heart. I want to, obviously, as we move forward, I want to continue to reach out and continue to strengthen the relationships that we have with self-advocates, with their family members, with our business partners, because honestly, that's all that matters at the end of the day. You are all that matter at the end of the day. There's a lot of people in Tallahassee especially that are plenty willing to speak on your behalf. And they're very effective. But what really, really matters are those people that actually do on your behalf. And that's where you all come in. You're out there doing this. You're living this every day. So you make more of a difference than I'll ever make, or that anyone in Tallahassee will ever make. You make more of a difference in the lives of the people we serve than we ever will. And for that, you are truly a blessing, not only to the people that we serve, to your loved ones, but you're really a blessing to this state. And I want to thank you all from the bottom of my heart, and I look very forward to working with you as we move forward into the future. And let's make Florida a better place.